Hi, my name is Michael Kerr, and what I'd like to discuss today is rational decision making. One of the key assumptions of economics is that people are rational. Now you're probably thinking, oh yeah, well, that's not very realistic. I know all kinds of people that aren't rational. My sister-in-law isn't rational. My ex-boyfriend wasn't rational. Well, what you mean by that is that you don't agree with the decisions that they make, or you don't understand why they made them, or you think they were stupid decisions. But in economics, that's not what we mean by rational behavior. We have a very specific meaning. The word rational. Look at the root of that word. Ratio. Ratio. What's a ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two different magnitudes. 2 to 1, 4 to 1. And what we mean by rational behavior is that people weigh their costs and benefits when making a decision. They look, here's the benefits and here's the cost. If the benefits are greater than the costs when they do it, or if the costs outweigh the benefits, then they don't do it. So, these are things that we do subconsciously. It's like breathing. We don't walk around with a little calculator trying to add these things up, but we make these decisions all the time. Now, one of the things I have to explain before we get started is another word, marginal. In economics, we talk about marginal benefits and marginal costs. What we mean by that, by marginal, is the additional benefits you get from having one more unit, or engaging in one more unit of activity, or consuming one more unit of food. What's the additional benefit? What's the additional cost? So right now we're talking about incremental decisions where you have to decide how long to do something or how much of something to consume or to buy. And the additional benefits, the marginal benefits, generally decline. Generally decline the more we have of something. The more we have of it, the less we need or the less we want additional units. So for example, pizza. You eat pizza. And you look at the first slice of pizza, oh boy, that tastes good. Here's your marginal benefits. And I'm going to use smiley faces to represent your marginal benefits. And this is the amount of pizza. So the first slice of pizza tastes really good. The second slice of pizza, well, it tastes good, but it's not quite as good as the first slice. Third slice of pizza. With each slice, the marginal benefits are less and less. It's the same pizza, same topping, same everything, but you're getting fuller. You don't value additional slices as much. Now, in this diagram, let me see how many slices you would eat if they were free. There was no cost. We had no cost. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 food. 7 slices of pizza if the pizza were free. You want an eighth slice of pizza, you'd get what we call disutility. You'd be too full. You would wish you hadn't eaten that 8th slice of pizza. Now, we say in economics there's no such thing as a free lunch. And here we're saying you eat 7 slices if it were free. But there's a cost to everything. Not necessarily a dollar cost. Dollar cost could be part of it. But it's the other things that you could be doing with the money. Other things you could be doing with your time instead. So, as you're eating this pizza, you look at it and your marginal costs tend to be rising. Not necessarily the price of pizza is not going up, the dollar cost, but your opportunity cost is going up. Because you have a certain amount of money. Instead of spending on a slice of pizza, you could be buying beer. Instead of sitting there in the restaurant eating all this pizza, you could be out doing something else. And you're putting on calories. You're gaining weight. And you're aware of all these negative factors as you're eating this pizza. And so you're weighing, here's my benefits, way up here. And here's my costs. And as I eat this pizza, my additional benefits, the benefits I get from one more slice, are declining while the cost is going up. And when you get to where the cost begins to exceed the benefits, that's where you stop. So here we see the marginal cost rising, we see the marginal benefits declining, and this is the point right here where your marginal benefits are going to equal your marginal cost. And this is where the point where you stop eating your pizza. Now, I'm using little smiley faces and frowny faces because I'm trying to emphasize that both costs and benefits are subjective. Like beauty, it's in the eye of the beholder. Some people like pizza, some people don't. Your marginal costs are different. What you're having to give up is different for each individual. Now, I want to give you another example. Put the smiley faces back up here, and the frowny faces. And this is the amount over here. Now, I used to ask my students to give me a little short paragraph, try to catch themselves making a rational decision over the weekend, and to describe it. This is something we generally do subconsciously. We're not even aware of it when we're making it. And one of my students wrote about taking a bubble bath. She was married and had a couple of kids, and she talked about how much she loved taking a bubble bath. Now, some people don't like bubble baths. She happened to like bubble baths. So she talked about how when she first got in the tub, the water was hot, lots of bubbles, nice fragrant smell, and oh, it felt so good to sink in there and relax. But as the longer she was in that tub, she began to realize the water was getting colder, the bubbles were disappearing, her skin was getting wrinkly. So as she sat in that tub, the benefits she got, the enjoyment she got from being in that tub, was less and less. At the same time, she had a couple of kids. The kids are out banging on the door, going, "Mommy, Mommy, we need this, we need that." Initially, she ignores them, but they start banging louder. And she looks at her watch, and her husband's coming home, and she's got to get dinner ready. And so she's aware while she's sitting in this tub that these costs, her subjective costs, her opportunity costs, are rising, getting greater and greater. At this point, let's ask 15 minutes. Her marginal benefits are now equal to the marginal cost. If she stays in the tub any longer, what's going to happen is that the marginal cost will be greater than the marginal benefits. She doesn't want that to happen. So she jumps out of the tub as soon as the marginal benefits equal the marginal cost. Now I want to give you another example, and this one involves shifting these curves. And here's the amount of the activity, here's the benefits, and here's the costs. Now, for this example, I want to use speeding, how fast you drive. And there's marginal benefits to speeding, and there's marginal costs. The faster you drive, the quicker you get to where you're going. You're saving time, and time is money. But the faster you drive, the more likely you are to get a ticket. But also, I don't know if you're a lot more likely to have an accident, but if you do, it's going to be a much more serious accident. So speeding has its costs. Getting a ticket or being injured in an accident, these are the costs of speeding. The benefits are speeding, that you save time. Now, and here's your marginal benefits, here's your marginal costs. And normally, it's different for each individual. Some people like speed, they get a thrill from speed. Other people are scared of speed. So everybody's going to react a little differently. But let's just assume that this person normally drives 65 miles an hour on the highway. That's their normal speed. Now, let me change it. Let me say normally they drive 75, but the speed limit is 65. So if you see a police car, or if you know there's a speed trap, this area is known to have a speed trap, that's going to increase your cost of speeding because you're likely to get a ticket. So if you believe there might be a policeman out there, what do? You slow down. Because your marginal costs now are higher. The whole curve is shifted upward. If it's raining or snowing, weather conditions are bad, that increases your chance of getting in an accident and having severe injury. That's going to increase your costs. So you're going to slow down if the weather gets bad. If the weather's good, you speed up. If the weather's bad, you'll tend to slow down. So I don't need to know how much you enjoy speed. Maybe you enjoy it a lot. Maybe you drive 85 miles an hour. Maybe you're one of these older people, that drive 50 miles an hour. But when these weather conditions get bad, you're going to slow down. When weather conditions are good, you'll probably speed up. If the police are out there, you'll probably slow down. If the police aren't out there, you might drive faster. So I can predict how you will respond to changes in your costs and your benefits. Well, let's look at the benefit side. Let's say you're driving along and your passenger is 8.5 months pregnant and she says, my water just broke. Okay. The water just broke. How are you going to respond to that? Well, I would think that would increase the value of speeding. You want to get to the hospital as quickly as you can so you don't have to pull off and deliver the baby in the back seat. So if your marginal benefits increase, your speed becomes more valuable to you, then what you're going to do is you're going to speed up and you're going to drive faster. So when these curves shift, you're going to make different decisions, different choices. If the benefits increase, you're going to drive faster. If the benefits decrease, you're going to drive slower. If the costs increase, you're going to slow down. If the costs decrease, you'll drive faster. So you'll respond to these changes. Now, humans are rational. I mean, there's some people who are insane and they don't make rational decisions or totally wacko. But most people make rational decisions. When the costs go up, they do less of it. When the benefits go up, they do more of it.